Hey everyone, and welcome to a very special Happiest Hour on Earth podcast. Today we have Erick from Expedition Roasters on our show to just talk about how he started, how the coffees are created, and a little bit about what's coming up. And so we are so excited to talk to him and get to know him a little bit better. So let's get the show started.
All right, so we can't wait to get talking with Erick from Expedition Roasters. We're going to have him on really soon, but we actually have his coffee with us today. We've gotten it multiple times before, but we decided for this episode we had to have his coffee to accompany us as we discuss with him how it's made and all that. So we have the Tiki Coconut. This is the amazing bag art for this one. This happens to be one of our favorites. So we made a nice little iced coffee for this episode. We got a little excited about it and had about half of our cups.
Yeah, and we had it this morning.
Yeah,
we're always consuming Expedition Roasters. Yeah, huge fans. And this is actually, I think, our first episode where we usually record these at night with a nice little cocktail. But since we're recording this, he's on East Coast time, so. We got
midday coffee.
Yeah, midday coffee.
We're set for the rest of the night to be running around with our little boy.
Yeah.
So let's get Erick on here. We're so ready to chat with him.
Yeah, let's give him a call. Hey, Erick, how's it going? Welcome to the Happiest Hour on Earth.
Oh, well, thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being on. It's awesome to have you.
Yeah, when we were starting this podcast, we were just so excited. We're like, we need to reach out to some guests. It'd be great to have some guests on the show. We reached out to you because we have been having your coffee for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And so glad that you're able to join on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure.
So we first heard about you through the Lost Bros, the clothing company, when they had you make their maple bacon coffee.
Ah, yes.
We were like,
so
who is this guy? So we've been fans ever since.
I think we got that one and then one more just because we're scrolling through the site and we're like, all these look good. Like, I want to buy every single one, but we'll stick to two for now. And usually when we order, we do like two at a time, just in case one runs out.
So we've had like probably at least half, if not more, of all the flavors, and we're working our way up, I guess.
Working our way, yeah.
Well, we keep creating more, so, there's always something new.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Good to hear that.
Yeah.
So for any of our guests who, for any of our listeners who maybe don't know who you are, could you tell us a little bit about Expedition Roasters?
We're a pop culture themed coffee company. We make our coffee in small batches. And we started out mainly theme park inspired stuff, but we've gone on to other, pop culture things, 1950s movies, tiki culture.
Nice.
And we've got actually other ones we're expanding into the future, as well as some licensed stuff coming up.
Wow, oh, nice. That's awesome. How many would you say you have lined up currently? And are you just constantly working on some new flavors like all the time, or?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, because it takes a while. I mean, most people think, oh, well, you just, make coffee, throw it in a bag, and, you're all good, right?
Yeah.
But it takes... Yeah, it takes a while. I mean, 'cause especially what we do with getting artists to actually create the art for the bags and all. And, it could take 3 to 6 months to get, a new coffee out there.
Oh, really? Okay. Wow. Yeah. So that process is so interesting to me, especially because I think there's a lot of, themed clothing and a lot of, themed scents and a lot of products like that. But I don't know of any other themed coffee. And so what inspired you to do coffee, and how do you go about coming up with the flavors, and then also just like from the inspiration to the flavors to the actual implementation of those flavors? Because they're all just so amazing.
They're so good.
Yeah, like I said, we wanted to do something that was different, and how do we bring kind of that, themed experience that you get in like theme parks and stuff like that to the coffee experience, which is, pretty involved with your senses. Taste and smell, of course, is very big with coffee. But we wanted to, encompass everything with having, some cool art on the bag, which was originally inspired by classic like attraction posters. From there, we've, always some type of poster art, 1950s movie poster art and stuff like that, as well as then adding some type of backstory to each coffee, and, making sure that either the roast itself, if it's not flavored, or the flavor for the coffee all ties in together with the actual whole encompassing theme.
Wow.
I love it. Yeah,
so cool.
you bring up the art, and really that is just, that adds so much to the bag. It's an all over print on the bag too. I mean, like everything has a story, and then the descriptions on the bag. It's so awesome. So with those, do you actually create the art for the bag, or do you usually work with someone else to do that?
Yeah, we have artists that we work with. We started out with one guy way back when. He was still in art school at the time and started working with us. He was aspiring to be a Disney artist, and that was Mario Graziati. He does a lot of our bags. He's probably done about half of our bags. And he actually got to work over in Disneyland and did some of their banners and, stuff like that, and some of their brochures and pamphlets over there.
Oh, my gosh.
So he worked there for about a year or so. And then we've kind of grown so much that we've actually gotten requests from other artists and stuff to do work with us and stuff, which was always cool. Some of them were Disney fine artists or other artists that have done other stuff. So yeah, it's always cool, and we try and fit like their background or what they're doing with something that we can do with that theme and give them that coffee to run with for the art. Yeah, so when it comes to that, usually it depends. Either we have a theme or we have a flavor. One or the other usually is how it starts. And then a lot of times we might say, well, we want this, this, and this in the artwork. And other times, we'll be like, oh, you know what? Here's kind of the theme, run with it if you're comfortable, and, let's see what you come up with. And a lot of times that's what creates the best art, on our bags.
Wow. That is so awesome.
The art is so great. I think that was one of the things that attracted us so much when we first were seeing who you were. It was like, wow, the art on his bags is so good.
Yeah.
And then just how delicious they taste.
Yeah.
That's what brings everyone in. Everyone's like, I'll try it because, the art's cool and it's a cool looking bag. And they are really art pieces themselves. And then they get it and like, wow, it's actually good coffee. And then, that's kind of how we get them hooked. And then they're like, oh, we're going to have to try more and more and more.
I think we literally had started a collection.
Yeah,
we moved houses at some point, and I don't know what happened to all of them, but we had a good collection going of all of our bags because they were all just so cool. It's like, we have to keep them.
Yeah. It's hard to throw them out.
It's really hard to throw them away.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we started putting our pull tabs on the back of the bag. So a lot of the new ones that are coming out, and when we refresh our bags, the pull tabs to open them are on the back. So now you can, because people did like saving them. It doesn't,
that is a good
interfere
idea
with the art on the front. And because a lot of people have framed them, made collages of them, and everything else.
That's so cool. We got to start doing that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we need to just frame them, just have them somewhere in our house.
Right near the coffee maker. Yeah. That's so cool.
So do you personally roast the coffee yourself, or do you partner with someone?
No. Well, we started with a local roaster that kind of showed us the ropes of roasting. So once in a while, we'll get in there and do some stuff. But mostly, we have someone, which like most coffee companies do, they have an actual roast master that takes care of everything, and we work with them to say, okay, this is what we're looking for, and then do different batches to say, okay, well, no, we want it a little bit darker, or a little bit more of this, that, whatever it is. And that's how we get our main, roast to start with, and then bringing in the flavor from there.
That's awesome. And is that someone local, pretty close to you over there in New Jersey, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome. That's so cool. And so how, because one thing I was so surprised about, because they all taste so amazing. And as I was on the site, it said that there was no additional sugars or carbs added to the coffee. So how, I don't know if you want to release a little bit of a secret, but yeah, how do they usually go about adding those flavors? I remember the churro one, the Dame one, the Corello one. Yeah. It's just, they're so good. And it's just crazy that there's no additional sugars added to that.
Yeah, we were, there's a lot of flavoring companies out there. So we found one that does a lot of high end, flavoring. So that way, if you got to like the coffee, you have to start with good flavoring, because if you just throw some cheaper flavoring in there, you're just going to get that chemical, taste to it. So again, we use premium flavoring, and the company that we work with, they're able to create these using natural and of course some artificial flavoring, because we do like to make sure it's allergen free. If any of the, the flavors that might be natural that are known to cause an allergen, then they replace that. But it's part and part, but yeah, there's no added carbs or sugars to it, so it's not dumped with extra, chemicals or sugars just to make it sweet.
Yeah.
Wow,
And that's the great thing too. I feel like I usually just put low milk in my coffee. She usually has it with creamer, but when we have your like Expedition Roasters, it's just so much flavor, and it's so perfectly balanced too. It's not like I'm, it's not like too
overwhelmingly sweet. It's just like the right amount of flavor to make it taste good.
And it's because you just have to put a little bit of milk, and then you get all of that, all the flavor that's in the bag, rather than adding, like a vanilla cream or anything. But yeah, I mean, they're all so good. When you do the flavors, is it roasting the beans with the flavors, or is that kind of added later? I don't know.
No, typically, yeah. I mean, most coffees, if they're done, when you go to like a Starbucks or something like that, now they pretty much pump in the the flavoring in your cup. But us, like most of the other small batch roasters, their flavoring is done. We roast the beans. We actually blend a lot of our beans, so that way we can get, from different regions to bring out, the fruitiness of one and maybe the earthy or chocolatey, nutty taste from another. And then we add in the flavoring on top of that. And we, depending on how you order it, if it's ground, we actually flavor our grinds themselves. And if it's whole bean, of course, we just flavor the whole beans, where a lot of companies will just flavor the whole bean itself and then grind it afterwards. But to get that consistent, even, flavoring across all the grinds, we actually flavor the grinds themselves.
Nice. Wow. That's awesome. So do you have a favorite flavor? And are you working on any new flavors? If you can't say,
don't spill the beans, so to speak.
The beans.
But if you want to let us in on anything.
Actually myself, I'm not a big flavored coffee guy. I like the regular flavors, and from different regions. My wife is the flavored coffee drinker, so she handles a lot of the flavors. But we've kind of become known as a flavored coffee company that creates different and unique flavors that you can't always get anywhere else. My favorite is actually the chocolate peanut butter cup, which is the beans from outer space, because that tastes really good iced as well. All our coffees are really good iced. They do hold up to just creating a quick iced coffee as well.
Yeah.
That is one that we have not actually tried yet, and I really, really want to get it. It's probably going to have to be next.
When did that one release? Is it a little bit on the newer side, like last few months to a year?
It was this year. It was earlier this year that one came out.
Earlier this year. Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, we saw the description. And I was like,
I'm a big peanut butter fan, and I saw that there's like peanut butter flavors. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was our retro 50s, sci-fi movie type of throwback, and we wanted to do something that was like, that you'd get a candy at the movie theater. So we did the chocolate peanut butter cup, and we're looking to do, a few more in that line as well, of the kind of a 50s sci-fi, doing different, movie candies flavored coffees with that.
That's so great. That's awesome. Yeah, because I know that you started mainly a little bit more with Disney stuff, and then you also had the Harry Potter ones that came out too.
Yeah, we've had that one for a little while. That was always meant to be kind of just a limited run, but it was so popular. We've kept it on for longer than we expected, but we actually just finished up. I think we only have the two left right now. We have a handful of bags left of those.
Oh, wow.
And then they're going away. We might bring them back, again, as another limited run. But we just need to make room. We have so many new ones that are coming out. We just, of course, released for fall the Pumpkin Spice King, which is our take on
we need that.
Pumpkin Spice, which is, different than everyone else's. So it's not that overpowering, like all our coffees are not. The flavoring isn't meant to be overpowering. It's just meant to be there, but not, smack you in the face. And then the other day we just brought back Simply Sinful, which is the chocolate raspberry.
Oh yeah,
so that's back for the fall as well. And then we've got actually two new ones coming out. Well, actually, our normal one coming out for winter, which is the chocolate peppermint. But we also have a new one coming out for winter too, which I won't divulge yet. But there'll be another new winter roast coming out.
Ooh, that's great. Will that be around like November? Or
yeah, probably November 1st, right around there. That's usually when the other ones start to to go away, and usually beginning of November we'll release the winter roast, and they usually run till usually about January sometime.
Oh, great.
Awesome.
Oh, wow. We're going to
Excited to
be,
see what that is.
our eyes will be kept on the Instagram
Yeah.
page to see when that comes out because we are so excited. And I just love how you do like seasonal too, because I feel like a lot of people, I know PSL, that's a big thing. Everyone wants their pumpkin, but yeah, wintertime when that comes around, I love the peppermint. I love kind of just, it gets you into that spirit. So I'm super excited for a winter release. That'll be great.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
And then we do have 2 other new ones too that are coming out by the end of the year. One should be coming out in October, and the other one hopefully in November as well. So 2 extra ones as well this year.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Are they also kind of seasonally flavored, or is this just kind of something based on a theme?
These are both non-flavored coffees. One is actually our first licensed coffee, and it's just going to be a limited run of about 1,000 bags. They're all going to be hand numbered and all.
Great.
And the other one is going to be a normal coffee that we will carry, and it will be a extremely highly caffeinated coffee. So when you need that extra boost.
Ooh, okay.
Sounds good to me.
Right. Well, we do have a 1-year-old, so I might need to pick that up to keep up
we
with
need
him.
to stock up on that one. So next question we have is, when you started Expedition Roasters, what was your strategy to like promote your brand? And what ended up really being the catalyst for your growth?
We didn't have much of a strategy. It was more of a hobby when we first started. We were actually smalling dog coffee at the time when we first started out. And that was really just to help our friends and family that were in animal rescues. Just help getting extra funds that way. So a portion of each, of all the proceeds were going to them, which is something we still do to this day. We just don't advertise it as much, but we work with a lot of different charities, from animal to veterans to children's charities now. So, a portion of every sale does go back to one of those charities. But then we decided to bring our, love of, Disney and pop culture into it. And it kind of grew from there. We just kind of put it out there, and really there was no strategy. It's just like, hey guys, here's our stuff that we started, of course, on social media, Instagram, Facebook and stuff like that. And it just kind of grew from there. But of course now we have, people that do our social media and advertising and all that stuff to try and, help us reach even more people besides our core group of fans and stuff.
That's awesome. And I love that. I mean, kind of with that strategy, something you mentioned earlier of the beautiful bags to help draw the attention. And then when you realize that it's great coffee as well, I mean, I think that just creates so much loyalty to the brand, because you're like, especially with Disney was closed for so long, and that was just one way you could get a little bit of that theme, in your life. And really, like you said, coffee brings in all the senses, the smell as it's brewing, and then the taste. And so, honestly, there's nothing more you had to do just than make amazing coffee. And actually, talking about the start of the company, what were your first bags and flavors? Did you launch with a couple, or was it just, one
or
that
did
you went
it
for?
change with Expedition Roasters? Because of course you were making coffee before Expedition Roasters, so you probably had some other
bags that kind of
But
ran
once
out.
you started Expedition, what was your first?
Yeah, we only had a couple with when we first started out, but when we Expedition Roasters was really launched with Skipper's Brew with the Jungle Banana Pie. That's really what launched our company. It was one of our favorite attractions, and then we had this great, unique, flavor, and we said, well, like most people's like, really, banana pie and coffee, like, I don't know, and we said, okay, well, we'll try it out, and like it just, for some reason, it just works. The way we do it just works. And that's really our first coffee that really founded kind of the Expedition Roasters experience.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's so
On
good.
the topic of Disneyland, since you were just talking about your favorite ride, do you go off into the park, or like when did you become a Disney fan?
I mean, growing up, I grew up in New Jersey, did live in Florida for a few of my teen years. So we mainly went to Disney World, of course, every couple of years growing up. And then when I met my wife, she was also a huge Disney fanatic. So, we went at least once or twice a year to Disney World. And then for our 10th anniversary, we finally made the trek out to Disneyland. And that was, that was about almost 12 years ago. So since since then, we've been going there like every year and really fell in love with that park because I'm a huge fan of Walt Disney, the man himself.
Yeah.
That's true.
So it's great just being in that park.
It is. Yeah, it is something. I mean, we went to Disney World for the first time in 2018, and it's just huge. There's so much to do there, and so I think each park has something special about it. But like you said, seeing like the castle and attractions that he actually was there and oversaw it is just a crazy
Something
experience.
special about it for sure.
So you go to Disneyland about once a year now?
Yeah, usually once a year. I mean,
nice.
since the pandemic, we haven't been out there. We haven't been anywhere really to either of the parks yet. But we'll be heading down actually to Universal for the first time since the pandemic for my daughter's
nice.
16th. So
nice.
celebrate her birthday. She wanted to go to Universal, so that'll be our first actual theme park back.
Nice,
Awesome.
nice. Oh, that'd be
Is
great.
that this year?
Yeah, that'll be in December. She's actually born on Walt's birthday on December 5th. So.
Oh my gosh,
that's so cool!
so
Wow,
great.
that's amazing.
Oh my
that's
gosh,
so cool.
special
Yeah.
birthday to have.
Yeah, and we took her out to Disneyland for I forget what birthday it was, but yeah, she actually got to celebrate it out there on Walt's birthday in Disneyland. So that was special.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
That's magical.
So, that's so cool. Now I feel like I need to align our Disney trips too to some extent.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
seriously.
Well, extra
At a whole
magic.
new level of magical.
Yeah. So after some time you ventured into teas. I was that probably a few years into it, in addition to coffee, but do you see Expedition Roasters venturing into any other drink related avenues in the future? Or are you going to mainly stick coffee tea?
Yeah, we're mainly a coffee company. I'm actually a tea drinker. I started out as a tea drinker before I became a coffee
nice.
drinker. So I wanted to bring a little bit of that into it. Plus, we were getting a lot of our fans like, listen, I'm not really a big coffee drinker, but I drink teas. So we brought a few on. We always want to bring more teas on. It's just a lot to handle because we are still a small mom and pop. It's really just me, my wife, and the kids that handle doing everything.
That's awesome.
So. Yeah, so it is really a family business, and it's it's still a part-time business, so it takes a lot. So eventually we'll bring on more teas. We did a hot cocoa that we usually do for the fall and winter. We're having some issues because it was something special that again we created ourselves. Getting there's still shortages on different supplies, so we are having some issues. So we're not sure if that'll be back or not this fall and winter. We're trying, but yeah, I mean we've done some cold brew stuff as well. We've done the cold brew iced tea that we have, and we are looking to do a line of cold brewed coffees. You can take our coffees and easily make cold brew out of it. Especially if you have just a French press, throw it in there overnight. About 10, 12 hours is good timing for our coffees to do a cold brew with, and then strain it out with that, and then you've got a good concentrate to work with from there.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know how to make a cold brew.
Yeah. We'll have to get some of those too. And is the person who helps you with the tea, is that the same roaster, or did you find a tea specialist in that area as well?
No, we work with a tea specialist, because that's a totally different, category there. So we found a good tea specialist, and tell them, hey, this is what we want. We can do this, this, and this, and they're able to make that up for us, and then we package it and everything.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So cool.
Pretty great. We haven't tried new teas yet, but
yeah,
I'll have to give it a
we're more
shot.
coffee, but we actually just did pick up some tea somewhere else, and we're on the iced tea train right now. So we have to pick up some.
Sometimes it is just a nice, refreshing afternoon thing. So I think maybe we'll have to get some tea. I know that there's a Peter Pan themed one, and I'm a big Peter Pan fan. So
yeah,
and that one is also very good if you want to make that one iced. That's
okay.
That's a nice fruit punch flavored tea, so it's hot, but it also works really well if you brew it over ice.
Oh, that's so. I think we need it before it gets. I mean, it's still not. What is it? 90, 100 today. So I think we still have some good time to have some iced teas. So we have another month. We have to get some.
While we can, I guess.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, okay, so that kind of sort of wraps up the questions that we had for you, but to end it off, do you have anything coming up? I mean, we kind of touched on some of what's coming by the end of the year, but what's next for Expedition Roasters?
Like I said, we're looking to do some more actually licensed works. So like I said, the first one will be coming out next month. And then we have a few more that'll probably come out in the new year. And then we're also working on some box sets. Some of them there'll be limited edition box sets. Usually about a set of 4 coffees that we're working again with other artists or shops that we kind of admire and like, and partnering with them to put their art on the bags and then selling it as a set. So it'll come in a nice box that's also decorated, as a nice collectible box. And so cool. We might do some of those with some of our licensed works as well.
That's so great.
Awesome.
And I just remembered as well that on your website, we noticed that you also have like some posters and like some coffee mugs, I think, that are maybe a little bit newer. Is that something that you did recently?
Yeah. The posters, we try and, do some, if not, most of our, more popular artwork pieces to offer that as well, in case you want to buy the actual poster instead of, saving the bags. Yes. We did a run of the tin mugs. Those were the Artist Series tin mugs. They're kind of, coming to the end of that run. And then in the fall, we're actually doing some limited edition collectible, actually the handmade like pottery coffee mugs. So they'll be coming out around the beginning of November as well for the holidays.
Perfect Christmas gift.
That's a good Christmas gift.
That's perfect. That's awesome. That. Well, hey, let the listeners know where they can find you, your socials, and your site and everything. I'm sure they'll be getting some coffee. Yeah. Just like us, we need some more.
Yeah, you can come visit us at expeditionroasters.com, and if you sign up for a newsletter, there's also 15% off coupon that you'll get. And on basically all social media, you can find us at Expedition Roasters, except for Twitter is at Expedition Roast because the ERS doesn't fit.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Thank you so much for being on our show. It was an honor to have you on and
learn about
your company.
Yeah, thanks again, Eric. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks so much.
See you.
All right. Thank you so much, Eric, for joining us on the Happiest Hour on Earth. It was such a pleasure talking with you and hearing all about your business. We love your coffee, and we know that everybody who buys it after they watch this episode is going to love it too.
Yeah, it's honestly one of our favorites. So if you are a coffee fan, if you are a Disney, Universal, just anything themed, if you're a big fan of all that, go get his coffee and enjoy it really when it's brewing and you're starting to smell the amazing flavors. It just really starts your morning off in a good way. So
and your afternoons.
And your afternoons, when we're filming this. So go check him out at Expedition Roasters on Instagram and on his site. And thank you guys so much for joining the Happiest Hour on Earth. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
Bye.